Okay, so we've attached that terminal block, and for this to fit in there nice, see how it bulges, we're going to cut out just a little bit of this. I'm going to be real careful. Yeah, that lays flat a lot better. Okay. Now, the trick with rubber repair, and this works great for your door seals and trunk rubber seals, is super glue gel. Put some gel down in there, and then do a quick push it to it. Then I use a product called Insta-Set, and this is a liquid. You can spray it, but I don't like spraying that stuff all over everything. I just use some from the tube. And you just put a little bit in there, and that instantly hardens, as you see. So the repair is done. Okay, our original harness looks something like this over there on the car. We got a female 2 terminal and a female 3 terminal. Now with the Euro light, the 3 terminal works fine for the high-low bulb, but the high bulb is going to require a female fastener for this and a ground. So these are your regular connectors you buy. I don't believe in crimp-on connections. I removed this plastic because I don't need that anymore. And I'll show you how I do it. Okay, here's our high beam bulb only. That's that high intensity bulb. And we're gonna make different connectors here. And I'll show you how I do this. Brown is ground. Other colors are the hot. So I'm going to put a piece of shrink tubing on there. And the end. And I'm going to mash that. And mash both tabs over. Then I'm going to solder that. No crimp-on connection baloney. Lots of times when there's an electrical problem with a Mercedes car, I look for crimp-on connections, because they're usually the culprit. That is soldered. That will never be a bad contact ever. A crimp-on connector, eventually there's a little corrosion in between the wire and the connector, and you've got a problem. So I'm going to put that shrink wrap right there. Normally I use a lighter, but I got this handy. And now we have a superior connection. Now we need longer screws. These are the screws that came out. And we need them longer because this frame is much thicker than the US style. And what you want to do, so that you don't have a bunch of trouble, is test all these screws in the clip, the nut clip, so that you don't, number one, break the clip, and number two, have it so loose that it doesn't hold properly. Okay, we're ready to hook this up. Now, do note that we don't have to change anything here with this coupler. That's good to go. This is our high beam, low beam. And this is our intense high beam. And I'm going to wrap that with some tape. Because that is positive. And we don't want that thing shortened out in any way, shape, or form. So we're going to protect that. With the ground out of the way. If I had the proper size shrink wrap, which I'm out of. Now, the trick, so this never comes undone, take a little bit of PVC cement. Run that over, and that will never come off of there. You'll have a hard time. Then we've got our ground to attach, which there's two holes here. One of them is threaded, so we can attach our ground real easy. And there we go, and we're ready for installation now. But before we do anything, we're going to test. So I'm going to have my co-worker hop inside the car, and we're going to make sure all these lights work. Okay, we did our test. All the lights function properly. So I'm going to just add a teeny bit of oil right here to these adjusters. There's 3 of them. 2 for the main high-low bulb and 1 for the intense high bulb before we stick this thing together. And now I know that we can adjust that. And nice fit! So, we've got our screws here. Now when you're assembling anything, and this goes as well, you never tighten up any screws until you've installed every screw a couple of turns. Alrighty, we have installed the headlight, put the amber light in, reattached the lower panel. Now one thing to note, on some cars, in this cavity is this piece of plastic. It must be removed in order to install the Euro lights. Sometimes both sides have them, but that's got to come out. Anyway, we got our nice looking car here now, and with brighter high beams.